It's Tuesday, the 21st of January. Good morning. So I left it yesterday. I had my test cut of the flat mullion. I just did the one, but I spent some time working out a cut list. So I have my cuts here, which is telling me from which side I'm laying the block, the distance from the edge and the angle. So I have a minimum of 4. If I can do up to 7, it would do the full shape. If I'm doing it all on a table saw, otherwise I'll just finish it off with a hand saw. So first cut, I've got the sides, say A, B, C, D. 150 in is the first cut, so we're actually doing this cut here, cut number 1, 150 in, from side A, laying the block on that side B, and the angle that I set is 34.5. So just got these cuts for each shape. I've got most of the angle cuts first. So I set the angle, keep it on the angle, and then do the cuts and turn the blocks around and position them from the fence. And I do that for each, don't know, in sequence or each cut on each block. Depends on how efficient it is, but hopefully I can get this done in short time, so hopefully within an hour or an hour and a half. Some time later, so the flat mullions, they're cut now. Ready to put in place. So the final blocks are cut and I've put them in place. I've set the height of the top of the mullions. It's something like 155 centimeters. It's slightly high because when I do fix them in place, they probably need trimming on the top. But that's the first setting out I've done. Gives an indication of the window sizes. So the side windows are 56 centimeters and the main one is 80, and the height is aiming for 155, which I've marked up there. So they're the blocks mainly cut now. I'll have some trimming and sanding, etc. when I fix them into place. I'm sure I'll have a task at fixing them as precisely as possible. Just putting something in place, just get an idea of the framing for the window. Now on the internal side of the mullions here, I will have this structural insulation, so I'll have that there. So I've got some, that's the next bit of cutting I need to do. Now putting this into place helps me think about the lintel. So I've given some thought to the lintel that's going to be up there, but I'm not entirely clear on everything about that. The external side of above the lintel would include the header for the bay window, and its depth is about the depth of this structural insulation piece, which I've just put in there to frame it, see what it looks like. Doesn't matter because it's kind of external anyway, but this structural insulation piece that I've got there will actually sit on the internal side, so it will span that over on that bit to the internal side of the structural insulation here, and that actually forms the window opening, because the window will be positioned on the internal side of the insulation, and that position of the header internally is kind of the space where we've got the cornice that's going to continue from the internal, just the ceiling height, and it's going to continue across the window there. So it gives me an idea of the positioning and where that looks. But yeah, thinking more of the lintels now. Right, so I think that's about it for today. It's getting quite dark now, late afternoon. So I'm gonna go back, see what cuts I need to be doing on these internal mullions, and do a further cut list. It's quite straightforward actually cutting these blocks. I've previously spent some time cutting these, and yeah, that's my first go, and it just seemed to be easier doing that side. In fact, cutting them into halves actually gave me exactly what I needed for that. So yeah, do a bit of a cut list for that.